Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, for one thing, I'm trying to figure out how the hell it's Friday already. Seems like only yesterday I was broadcasting Monday's show, and yet here we are. We have a properly packed show for you today, including the first airing of an exclusive new video that we recorded yesterday, and you'll know when you see it because I'll be wearing yesterday's green T-shirt. So, without further ado, let me post the question of the day, roll the intro, and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Friday, the 15th of July, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony, and today I shall be both the Pontiff of Plant and the Prince of Demolition Darkness, because, why not? In today's show, we will be discussing demolition, the CMA probe, and the Manchester United effect, hence the red T-shirt. We're taking two of our favourite things, chimney demolition and remote control machines, stirring them together with just a hint of Italian herbs and spices. We're taking a look at Thor. Excuse me one second. We're taking a look at Thor, but not the one that is currently packing cinemas across the land. Plus, we'll be getting gamified as we look ahead to the launch of the new construction simulator game for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. We'll get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to English Prince and Knight, Edward the Black Prince, and Mafia boss Sam Giancana. Happy birthday also to country singer Waylon Jennings, to singer and songwriter Harry Nilsson, and to actors Simon Callow and James Belushi, to actress Helen Hunt, OG gangster rapper Ice Cube, actor Neil Patrick Harris, and to the actress who shall forever be known as Monica Geller, Miss Courtney Cox. Mrs. Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox, you get the idea. Many happy returns to them, one and all. If you were here for our chat yesterday, you will know, or you would have had a sneak preview of the film I'm about to show you. The video was actually prompted by an email from a viewer who was questioning his career path in light of the initial findings of the bid rigging probe into the UK demolition industry. Look, the film hopefully speaks for itself. So here it is. This is called Demolition, the CMA, and the Manchester United effect. I actually thought I'd covered all the bases, that I'd looked at the CMA investigation from every conceivable angle. I'd considered the impact upon the companies named in the probe into bid rigging within the UK demolition sector. I spoke about the possible impact upon the employees of those companies. I talked at length about the likely reaction from clients, particularly any that find they paid over the odds for some past demolition work that was rigged from the get-go. I questioned why demolition trade bodies were failing in their duty to uphold industry standards by their apparent refusal to expel any companies that brought their respective organisations into disrepute. And I also raised the question of how the CMA investigation might impact upon the industry's already tarnished reputation with the general public. But I missed an angle. Even though it was there staring me right in the face, I failed to spot another potential area of fallout from the CMA debacle. However, I received an email last night that showed me the light. In fact, it actually showed me more dark. I won't reveal the name of the person that sent me the email because I don't want to cause them any issues down the line. But here is what the email said. Firstly, I would like to say I'm a great fan of your shows, especially the interesting developments of the CMA investigation. I like the no holding back approach. But my question to you is this. I have recently achieved my Black Demolition Manager CCDO card, and I'm planning to join the IDE and apply to do my foundation degree in demolition management to push forward my career. I want to move to a Tier 1 contract, so I get the opportunity to learn from the very best in the industry. But with the CMA investigation going on, would it be wise to apply to the companies involved, or should I look at a Tier 2 contractor pushing for Tier 1 status? I would really appreciate your opinion on this, as I love being placed at the deep end, as it's the only way to test yourself. But I wouldn't want to damage my reputation and hard work by moving to a contractor that will have their name dragged through the mud and possibly my name too. Now, before we get into the meat of all this, I will say here what I said in my response to the individual that sent the email. It's very clear that you are taking your demolition career seriously. A Tier 1 or a Tier 2 contractor will be lucky to have a person with your drive and foresight on their team. But now we're done with the niceties, what does that say about the state of the industry? We have a person here that has already undergone a great deal of training and gained a great deal of experience in order to secure their black card. They are precisely the kind of dynamic and committed person the industry is crying out for. They should be, and they are, precisely the kind of person that demolition companies are falling over themselves to attract. And yet they are now forced to make career choices based, at least in part, upon which employers to avoid. As ever, I can turn to a footballing analogy that sums up this situation perfectly. A decade or so ago, Manchester United were the biggest team, not just in the UK, but in the world. They were winning everything, and as a result, they were a magnet attracting some of the very best players in the world. But with the departure of long-term manager Sir Alex Ferguson, things took a turn for the worse. The team began to slide down the league table. They stopped winning trophies, and suddenly the world's best and most ambitious players were not attracted to Old Trafford, but to nearby Manchester City and Liverpool. Unable to attract the top-class talent upon which they'd previously relied, Manchester United started to slide even further down the league table. They were no longer the threat they once were. As a West Ham fan, I used to dread the 2 games against the Red Devils each year. Now I see those fixtures as a potential 6 points. So coming back to all things demolition, there are some big-name contractors that could now find themselves cast as the Manchester United of the industry. They may now find it harder to win and to win big. Their ability to attract and retain the best people will therefore be impacted and impaired. And without the constant supply of dynamic new talent, they too could find themselves sliding down the league table. All of which informed my response to the person that sent me the email. I pointed out there were some very good teams out there doing some truly great work, that those teams were already competing with the top teams in the country, and that they now have an opportunity to win, and to win big themselves. That those teams have a stable management that's not likely to change anytime soon. And I meant every word. But I can't help thinking that in the midst of a major skill shortage that is worsening by the day, the industry may have just shot itself in the foot. Or more accurately, it's been shot in the foot by a handful of big-name contractors. I'm also left with this thought. With the Manchester United level teams of the demolition world unable to attract the talent that was once drawn to it like a moth to a flame, those Tier 2 companies, the West Hams and the Arsenals of the demolition business, now have the opportunity to grab some of that talent for themselves. Those companies are already competing for industry silverware, but with the addition of some new talent, there may be no stopping them. As a final point, I'll leave you with this thought. There was a time when Manchester United fans referred to Manchester City as their noisy neighbours. Those same fans now have to watch from afar as those noisy neighbours go from strength to strength, while their own team seems to move from one crisis to another. In the world of demolition, there are plenty of noisy neighbours just waiting for their chance to shine. I was actually speaking to a friend of mine in the industry yesterday afternoon. Obviously, he hadn't seen that video at that time, but it's his belief that the CMA scandal will set the demolition industry back by 30 years. And sadly, in many ways, I'm inclined to agree with him. Right, we've got oodles more content yet to come, but I'm going to take a very quick break because I want to flag this up so that we can actually talk about it in the after show chat. Dan Cullen says, good morning, everyone, and good morning, Mark. Okay, I have a serious question for you all. Here goes. On the site I'm on at the minute, there is a real accident waiting to happen. If not rectified, the telehandler operator is slinging loads with steps on forks, and he's also slinging these pallets, and he's got no tickets for slinging, but he fears to say anything as he has a young family to support. And he goes on to say, a health and safety officer for the company was here yesterday, said nothing about this situation. So my question is, who is to blame? If anything were to happen, i.e. an injury due to a load failure, and the safety guy was on site, turned a blind eye, plus having straps on forks, also as fraying of straps under pressure of load, will it be operator's problem or management problem due to failure of having slingers on site and proper lifting equipment? And what would be the consequences? I think legally, in my answer to that, legally the answer would be it would be a management problem. But if an accident were to happen and somebody was injured, the operator would still have to live with themselves. So if anybody would like to join in on that chat, we'll save that for after all of the other bits and pieces. We can have a good old natter about who's to blame. Now, have I played? I believe I may have played. I had played that. I just realised. Right, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in a hinterland between the exhibition that was, Hillhead, and the exhibition that soon will be, Balmer. And by a very welcome quirk of fate, we find ourselves with an exclusive new video that has a foot in both shows. In both shows. Shows of weeks past and shows of weeks to come. We called up with our buddy Michael Atkinson of Liebherr, Great Britain, at the Hillhead exhibition. And while the main topic of conversation was what was on display at the Quarry Extravaganza, Michael did drop a few hints about what might be on the mammoth Liebherr stand at Balmer when October rolls around.
It's been very positive, Mark. We've had a lot of interest. A lot of people have been climbing up on the truck, and it's been very positive. We've got the 566 wheel loader here with the Liebherr personnel detection system. Basic premise of that is it will distinguish between humans and inanimate objects. So at 6 meters, when it's reversing, it'll pick up a human, the most important asset. And then at 2.5 meters, it'll pick up inanimate objects. You know, it could be a forklift or a car or something like that. It will brake. You can turn off the object detection temporarily for practical reasons if you're inside a shed, but the personnel detection, only Liebherr can turn that off. So we've got quite a few systems out there with customers. Actually, we had a customer here today who bought 3 shovels last year with it on, and he was telling us how many human detections he's had, which was really interesting. Allowed them to take action on the site to make some changes, speak to their staff. So it's gone well. The applications we've been putting them into so far have been rehandling yards, quarries, and we've actually sold some to a timber customer as well. Balmer is largely going to be about alternative fuels, drivelines, so there is going to be new machines there, I can promise you that. It's going to be a smaller wheel loader with a different driveline technology, and there'll also be some concept machines which we've got running out with customers now. You're right, I can't say anything. I'll get into trouble. I'll probably get into trouble, but I think the message is Liebherr's in the race. We probably don't go out and shout about it until we've got product ready, but I can assure you we're testing machines covering all the different technologies that are being talked about at the moment.
New machines and alternative fuels. The Liebherr stand was already my #1 destination at Balmer. I'm looking forward to it even more now. Just want to say massive thanks to Michael Atkinson for taking the time to chat while we were at Hillhead, and to Gwyn Stevenson also for helping to make it happen. If there is one thing that excites us even more than remote control machines, it is the demolition of massive chimneys. But imagine if you could combine the two. As cool as finest Italian gelato, as smooth as Italian mozzarella, and as effortless as a goal from Francesco Totti. Very good indeed.
Axoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
Hordes of moviegoers are currently crowding into jam-packed cinemas across the country for the latest Marvel movie, Thor, Love and Thunder. Well, we're going to show you a very different Thor, and you can watch this one without having to go anywhere and without having to sell a kidney to buy some popcorn. I see of those Kiesel KMC machines, the more I like them. Now, that film was actually an edit of a much longer 10-minute film. If you'd like to see the film in its entirety, and I would recommend it, I've just added a link over in the chat. What is it with equipment manufacturers? I go to bed safe in the knowledge that the next day's show is mostly organised and at least partially scripted. And then you wake up to find the sneaky buggers have something new to talk about. Case in point, Wacker Neuson uploaded this intriguing little teaser just this morning, about 10 minutes before I was due to come on air. What's all that about, eh? There are no details, and the video just says keep watching for more. So if anybody has any clues on what that is all about, then please let us know. And my apologies for seeing the top of my head. I was reading the chat, because that's what you do. Let me play this, because I've got more to show you.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Having broadcast an online TV show dedicated to the field of demolition and construction for more than 2 years now, I know that you guys live and breathe this industry. If you're not actively involved in doing it, you're here talking about it. So I thought the next film might just catch your attention. In September of this year, a new industry-related game called Construction Simulator will drop onto PCs, PlayStations, and the Xbox platform as well. Let's have a chat about it after this. Now, I'm not a gamer, nor am I an equipment operator, but there's a bit of me that thinks we might be able to do something with that. According to the blurb on the website of the company behind the game, there is a multiplayer capability within the game that would allow us to actually play it together. Now, when I was in Sweden with Volvo a month or so ago, I spent quite a bit of time with this guy.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's DJ Go Ham. You are watching The Breakfast Show.
Now, the reason I mention that is because he has built himself a thriving business playing the game Farm Simulator. I may just teach myself how to play the old version of the Construction Simulator game before the new version comes out, and I'll try to figure out how I go about live streaming that gameplay too. But what if I can figure it out? Can't be that hard, can it? Who is with me for a spot of Construction Simulator when September rolls around? Let me know if you fancy a bit of a game online.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show, but I think the fun is just about to begin. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends, and your colleagues. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. Just to let you know, I am planning to drop by tomorrow for a Saturday social show, and we will be doing a weekend wrap show this week as well, so stay tuned for both of those. If you don't have the time to stick around, have a good day. If you do have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this.